Five of the crews from last year's World Championships re-oppose each other today in this, the final of the lightweight fours. Well, this was the first semi-final with Italy, as you'll see in a moment, leading but being pushed hard all the way by the Australian quartet of strokeman and team captain Simon Burgess, Ben Curitan, Anthony Edwards and Glenn Loftus. Australia just above Italy, runners-up to the French in Sydney, and clearly here in Athens, on this evidence, not without a chance.
Netherlands, Ireland, attention.
So away we go on the far side, Canada in lane one, then two from the top of the picture, Australia, who were runners-up in the Olympic Games in Sydney, then Denmark. Italy are three from the bottom of the picture in blue, and then in the foreground the Dutch in orange and white, and closest to you are Ireland, who put all their crown jewels in this boat: Paul Griffin, Niall O'Toole, Eugene Coakley and Richard Archibald.
Going out in front though is Denmark. Denmark like to get out fast. They are very, very powerful. In training, you go to training camps and you see them in Spain and at Christmas time, hammering up and down the river. They don't think about steady state and low rating work. They just work themselves at every session, and it pays off. I mean, you see them out here, look at them go. They're just there driving along, and they're sitting in the stroke seat there. Emerson, 7 gold medals to his credit. I mean, this is a fantastic crew, and they just put it down every year.
The Dutch with Juri de Groot there in the stroke seat, the silver medalists a year ago. Italy were bronze, Denmark of course the gold. And worth reflecting back to Sydney, because remember, Dan, not only had the Danes won the Olympic title in '96, they then held the world title in '97, '98, '99, and then in May 2000 they suffered Poulsen's knee, which really destroyed their chances of retaining their Olympic title, and they did well to actually get the bronze at the end of the day.
Look at this, at 38 strokes a minute here, mid-race. For them, it's a sprint. This is what they do all the time in training. For them, it's a sprint. So they're up there at 38. You can see, though, the Australians moving nicely now into second place. The Australians very much the sort of the opposite of the way that the Danes row. Here they are. They're technical. They're technical. They sit up nice and tall. They move their boat beautifully. The boat runs very, very sweetly. So you've got a very different type of approach to the way that this sort of racing is done. Remember, they're all the same average weight, 70 kilos. So what's the difference here? The difference is the way they exert the power, the technique that they use, and the way that they approach it mentally.
Canada, who were also in the World Championship final, 5th a year ago, on the far side and just struggling a little bit, but the Dutch are way off the pace. Look at the deficit that the Dutch have allowed here, and although they're a fast finishing crew, they've put themselves into jeopardy already, surely, Dan.
No, absolutely, that's a long way to catch up now. Ireland just about there in third place, no, just now beginning to slip back, but with Italy beginning to push on quite well. On the far side, top of the picture, Canada like to train with their heavyweights. The heavyweight crew that won the silver medal yesterday in the heavyweight boat, they all train together, and they've been a match for the heavyweights through the season, so you'd expect them to be up there with the leaders.
So at the half distance, it is very much Denmark who are in charge at the moment, but Australia on the premises. Simon Burgess in the stroke seat, the captain of the Australian rowing team, took a break until 2002, like his teammate Anthony Edwards, who's in the number 2 seat there for Australia.
Australia pressing hard, looking very relaxed, very, very nice movers. You've got sitting in the middle of the boat there, Anthony Edwards, who's a sculler, transferred from the double scull into rowing and working very, very effectively. Same thing with Niall O'Toole there in the Irish boat, sitting at 3. He was a sculler, world champion some years ago, sitting there now in the middle of this Irish 4.
Yes, world champion in the lightweight single sculls back in Vienna in 1991. But here are Denmark and Eskil Ebbetson, the man in the stroke seat, the man who carried the Danish flag into the Olympic Stadium for the opening ceremony. And still the Danes are in charge. But look what's happening either side. Still Australia there, and Mascarenhas, a real bright talent for Italy. This young man who was actually born in Lisbon, but home for him now is Rome.
Look at the move now. They've looked, he had a quick look across there, and another look. He's looking maybe too much across there. He's just checking what Australia are doing, but he's still got 500 metres to go, all to play for.
Italy now with Bruno Mascarenhas, Dan, asking a question of the Danes.
Well, the Danes are responding. They're very, very experienced, but they've been up at 38 strokes a minute all the way through this race. Where do they get it again to move up to another level? They put it up to 40 strokes a minute because they can respond to every challenge. And there they go now. They've just opened it back up again by about another quarter of a length. But it's Australia and Italy now battling it for the silver medal. I think that Denmark won't be caught. They're much too tough for that.
Canada not entirely out of it on the far side. Holland and Ireland in a little battle of their own, out of the picture. We can see them from the commentary box. You can just about see the bow of the Dutch lightweight four just creeping into the picture, but still a long, long way back. But Denmark, Dan, they're just amazing.
Oh, they are. They just turn it on whenever they have to. I mean, it is just hours and hours of that sort of practice, that sort of lactate work that they do. But look at Italy go. They're all up now at 40, 41, 42 strokes a minute. But what a battle there between Australia and Italy for the second place.
But once again, Denmark going again and leaving these two crews behind. And you could see the strain on Simon Burgess's face there. This is really hurting them. And again, out of picture, the Dutch still making some progress, but it looks to me as if it's all rather too late. It is Denmark, who are magnificent at the moment, going away to regain the Olympic title. Australia on the far side, Italy on the near side, Canada at the top there as we come to the line. And it's, oh, look how close Holland are. My goodness gracious me, have they got there? That was right on the surge. And Denmark have definitely got the gold. Surely Australia have got the silver. Italy and Holland, well, perhaps we need to look at the photo because there were three in a line. Picture now, this comes very, very late. Then Italy, two from the bottom of your picture, and the Dutch.
Well, it looks to me just as if Italy just held on there. And yes, indeed they did. But why did the Netherlands leave it so late?
Just 0.05 of a second off the bronze. But the class crew, Denmark, once again Olympic champions.
He could be there in Beijing. He could even be there in 2012.
Good effort by Australia. For Italy, a third bronze medal after finishing third yesterday in both the double sculls and fours. However, they'd have surely hoped for more in this, their last realistic chance of gold.